Hello, and thank you for taking part in this meditation. Meditation is a way for us to discover more about ourselves at a deeper subconscious level. And this particular meditation is called the final meditation. It's not the final meditation such as a finality, but we'll be taking a special look at the word final and using it as an acronym for this practice. The essence of meditation is in letting go. This is an aspect of meditation that's often left out in Western practices. Practices that include manifestation and bringing about more into our lives. Whereas the Eastern practices of meditation are more prominently based on renunciation or letting go. And it's through this letting go that provides the healing for us. This is because we often forget, because it's much easier for us to desire more and bring more into our lives than reducing and renouncing. At least it seems that way. Letting go allows a mental and physical healing because it is providing space for this. It's often the hidden things in the subconscious that are causing the most stress and are the most problematic situations in life because they're repressed. If they're mental, they're repressed within the mind, seemingly, and they cause a feeling of attachment when they are when we're working with material objects. I'm sure you'll enjoy this meditation. It's a part of the work that I've been doing in the area of subconscious intervention, where we take clients through methods of visiting repressed emotions and thoughts and working with these repressions and using them as lessons in life, producing an unlimited healing of the mind and body. So here we're using the word final. This word has great meaning in that once we are able to let go of repressed, hidden, and buried memories and emotions, this is the final step in our healing process and a time for us to move beyond any limitations that we might have. We're using the acronym FINAL, and this being the F being finding, the I being investigation, N being notice or noticing, A represents acceptance, and L represents letting go. So this powerful meditation is something that you can take with you everywhere and anywhere you go, keeping in mind the word final, and to use this acronym in the powerful way that we'll be using it in this meditation. So if remembered and held within the mind, we can use the simple word final to find, investigate, notice, accept these things in life and let them go. So let's begin our meditation. Please make yourself comfortable. Bring your attention to the breath for a few moments. Allowing the mind to settle. And temporarily we're going to forfeit and give up any memories of the past or any plans for the future. Resting in the present moment. So resting in this presence itself is very healing. One of the difficulties that we have is that memories can come up. These memories cause emotions or feelings. And these feelings can cause problems within the body if they're unresolved. They can cause a feeling of restlessness and worry within the mind. The typical instructions for a breath-related meditation, meaning that when we use the breath as a meditation object, is to focus on the breath, and when the attention seemingly is pulled away from the breath, we want to acknowledge that, just briefly shine the light of awareness on that, and then bring it back to the breath. But when this thing or this situation that keeps pulling us away from the breath becomes habitual, in other words, the same pattern again and again, that's when we sometimes want to take a deeper look. So bringing your attention to the breath and perhaps noticing how the mind drifts away or goes towards something of the past, maybe something that happened a long time ago. In fact, for this exercise, I invite you to visit your past at this time and look and see if there's a very prominent time in your life, something that gave you a great deal of difficulty at that moment. Find that situation, that event. Bring it into your memory. Recall it at this time. This is actually the first step of this acronym, final, which is F, to find. We're finding and noticing this is the initial seeing, which is the first step in discovery of anything. We must have contact with the object or the person or the place or the thing that we will be working with. And these are the things that habitually give us problems. And the reason they are habits is because there's probably something repressed, something deeper that we're missing, that we're not seeing. So we first find what is holding us back and causing this suffering or making us feel limited in some way. And these are the things that pull us away from what we wish to concentrate on. And this is done through this finding, allowing the mind to settle down, to be very present, and then to notice these things that come up for us. Once we find or have found what we're looking for, what we're working with, the next step is to investigate. This is what every good researcher, detective, or investigator does to understand their object, their opponent or situation. Mindful, concentrated investigation is required and can be done at this moment. To see that activity that happened, that keeps pulling you away from the breath, perhaps. Or maybe it's just that prominent thing in your past that has stayed with you for all these years. Just take a deeper look at that. Actually place that on a screen in front of you. See all the details. This thing that was said or done. Place yourself a few moments in front of it. Notice how you perhaps kind of walked into the situation, or how everything unfolded for it to happen. It could have been very unexpected, or maybe it was thought out and planned. See it for what it is. Investigate it. Notice how it made you feel at that moment. But particularly, notice how it made you feel afterwards. Investigate. See every fine nuance. Investigation is very important. If you'd like to stay here for a little longer, feel free to do so. You can pause this recording. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next step, the third step, which is to notice. This is a being aware of how we feel within as a result of the visiting of this past event. This is an in-depth look at the triggers that set things off in the area of emotions, feelings, and mind states. Basically, what happens when a particular thought arises. These are in part what needs to be looked at beyond the event itself. We must also notice the residual effects of the thought or memory of the event, such as the harm it may have caused while it was buried within the subconscious, and the harm that it still causes while in the conscious mind at this moment. How does this make you feel? Why is it pulling you away from your meditation object, for example? Or why does it keep coming up in your memory? We're looking at all aspects of it, the deeper aspects, things that we might have missed before, things that make us feel the way we feel. This is beyond just the investigation of the activity or event. This is noticing how we feel in the moment. The next step, the fourth step of final A, is to accept. This is critical. This is to eventually receive a thing as it is. That's what acceptance is. It's also to take 100% responsibility, not necessarily for the happening of the event, but for our emotional reactions to it. Acceptance is often found at the end of a refusal. To accept something is to have the clarity of mind to know that the reality of the situation is what it is. It is just the situation or thing that has happened. and that it no longer has to affect you as it did previously. Because it is a mental, worldly event that no longer has to have an impression on the mind in the same way that it previously did. It's like saying, I accept what happened, and now I'm ready to move forward. And this must be believed 100%. So are you ready to accept what happened and ready to move forward? Again, acceptance is crucial for any kind of letting go. We have to be okay with it all. The final step, and the final letter of final, is L, which represents to let go or letting go. This is the final step in any emotional healing process. It's not an abandoning or an ignoring, but a resolution and a solving of a problem. It's the solution to emotional restlessness and worry and physical illness in many cases, physical discomfort. With the eyes closed, see yourself walking away from this event or this situation, this thing that keeps beckoning and calling you. See yourself accepting the lessons that it has taught you, and see yourself walking away. No longer needing any of the energy that it has. No longer drawn to it by its energy. No longer needing it in your life. You're walking towards freedom, to your next adventure. See yourself completely letting go and completely doing it with an open heart and open mind. The awareness of these steps is key, as they are necessary in the resolve of negative emotions and the ability to look ahead and move forward without anything holding us back. Bring to mind the image of a person trudging through a field of mud, carrying on their back a backpack full of rocks, only to realize that the backpack can be dropped at any time, allowing one to move easily and more thoroughly through the field, becoming unstuck in life, having that feeling of limitlessness. Remember the word final. Use the acronym and the analogies. What's buried within the mind over years and years, these memories, and within these memories are the emotions and the pent-up anxieties and worry and restlessness that comes with it. Find the situation, find the problem, investigate it, notice how it feels within, accept the situation, accept every aspect of it, get the lesson, and then let go, allowing yourself to move forward, uninhibited in any way. Thank you.